Welcome to Happy Hour with Ruth
and Roxy. It's great to see you guys. Thanks for showing up.
It is nice to see you. It feels a little dark in here. I don't know what's going on.
You know what it is? We also feel a little crooked to me.
Yeah, well.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
bent.
a whole other thing.
Getting bent, as they say.
Getting bent with our pink penis microphone.
Let's talk first before we... Oh, brother.
What we're drinking.
Today we have something lovely. See, first of all, look at our glasses.
Yes, there's mermaids on them. And that's a gift for me from Pink Beverly. So because we're going, our move is to a new house and it's called the Mermaid's Cottage. So we're leaving the Tipsy Flamingo in her, what's the word, Rox? Worthwhile? No, it's, what is it? Capable hands.
Oh, yes.
There's the word. See, I had a word.
You had a word.
And we're moving to the Mermaid's Cottage. But to say, there will still be flamingos there.
I think I put some cork in this.
That's okay.
Can you see that? What is
Makes
that in
it
there?
taste better. That's cork.
Okay, I definitely
None of it'll kill you.
It won't kill me. And
we're trying something different. It's not Stoneboat Bubbles today.
It's not. It is Crown and Thieves. Yeah. Which we've talked about this winery before because
it's a great one. They have great reds.
It's really, really fun to go to. And this one is called the Dimber Mort. And I have to tell you what it says on the back. This is a nice, light, easy drinking wine. Very much unlike a Cab Merlot, it says. But I think that means it's a Cab Merlot blend. But a Dimber Mort is a term for a pretty or elegant woman, which is exactly how I would describe the essence of this wine, which is exactly why I chose it today.
Which
because
is what we personify.
Are pretty elegant women.
As
and
I
our
eat
audience
blue cheese.
is full of,
beautiful, elegant women. That's
right.
Exactly. And we also have stinky cheese that Roxanne brought over, and it's really
because nothing goes better with red wine
than stinky cheese.
Okay, I'm going to taste it, and then we're going to...
Okay, then we'll talk about it. Now, she's way better at wine than me, so she's going to talk about it, I'm going to nod my head. Oh, she's actually doing that... Like,
if it doesn't dribble out the side of my face, I feel pretty happy.
Who's the guy in Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it needs more air, or it needs some food.
I think it's delicious as it is, which is why nobody lets me buy the wine.
Okay, but I drank a wine one time. I was tasting a red wine, and I was like, it's fine, it's okay, it's not great. And then I had a piece of cheese, and then I tasted the wine, and it changed everything. Yeah. So,
my dad used to have a friend that, I don't know if this was his main job, but he wrote the wine descriptions. He wrote menus, but he really was into the wine descriptions.
Would be fun.
But one time he was over and he was talking, and I was a teenager, so I wasn't paying that much attention. But I remember him saying, you can take almost any bottle of wine, and if you give it enough time to breathe, it will be a good bottle of wine.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was joking, he was like, yeah, when you get older, tell him it's $100 bottle of wine. Just decant it for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right. And you actually get, I've tried that with less expensive wines. Yeah. And there's something magical happens.
It is true. And I should have used an aerator
I was gonna
for this
say,
one.
Yeah.
I'm going to fish this out because it's
that's funny. It wouldn't bother me, but of course,
Well, I can't reach
it
now.
Neil, where are you going there, bud?
Hey, my dog.
He's fine.
He's on the run.
He's all fun.
We'll see.
Okay,
so that's the wine and cheese part of this party.
That's the wine and cheese part of this party. So it's October, what day is it? It's Friday, October 3rd. Mm-hmm. So we actually close on our new house a month from today, and we're going to take possession. It'll be a month more that we move in.
Wow.
So that's interesting, hey?
That is, I can't handle that. That is crazy.
It is crazy.
That's why life feels so weird right now, though, because it's all leading up to this.
Everything's...
Okay, do you remember when you first decided you were going to move? You decided over Christmas, I think.
Well, we talked a lot about it over Christmas. We were in Thailand, and we talked a lot about it.
But you warned me before you went to Thailand, and I think it was in October or November.
Yeah.
Because you went away in November.
Probably November. Yeah, we went away towards the end of November. So
you told me, and it was like, my world is rocked and shaken, and I don't know what to do with this, and now I'm mad at you forever. And
still mad at
I sort of got over it for a while.
But now she's mad again.
No, I'm not mad again, because I'm going to move too, but it's change, right?
It is change.
And change is always...
Change is hard.
Often
it doesn't matter.
Challenging. Doesn't matter if it's good change or hard
That's exactly
change.
it. And the fact that, we're in this devil-cyclone of crappy market.
Yeah.
Right? like I was writing some notes that got stuck in the printer because, of course I'm trying to get them in the printer jammed, but like some of the things I was laughing about, and one of the phrases that kind of came up was, I feel like our houses are on Tinder, but everybody keeps swiping left, right? It's like, that really, it's one of those where it's like everybody's in this boat. So it's not specific. Yeah. It's not like we're overpriced or we're not like the house isn't great or anything. Everybody's in this boat, but it's this weird, like you're just in limbo because you've made this decision to put your house up, and that's the big decision, right? That's where you go, okay, things are going to change. Mm-hmm. And then when nothing happens, it's a little bit like, you get ready for a date and they don't show up.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, that's it, right? Because
Not that ever happened to us.
Never. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But, like you get your house all cleaned up. I mean, we're both doing open houses on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But that's the weird part is you get everything ready. You get your house all clean and you get all the, in our case, you take away every evidence of having dogs, which is a lot of stuff in our house.
Well, you should see the back of our Jeep.
Move it all.
Like we put all our dog beds in the back of our Jeep, right?
We put it in the garage, but
we have dog beds.
Yeah.
In every room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, exactly. And he's pulling that apart.
Yeah. Oh God, Scruffy's killing a little
He's
toy.
Eviscerating a toy. But yeah, so it's like it's a lot of work, and then you put it all back together. And I don't know. I told Ray yesterday. I said, the longer this goes on, the less we're going to do, and that's when our house will sell.
But that's exactly
because it'll just be like, no, this is how we live. This is how you can live in this house, and it's fine.
Yeah.
That's
exactly it, right?
So yes, we eat toast in the morning.
Damn it.
With
peanut butter.
Yeah, I won't leave the peanut butter out. But I mean, I'm putting the toaster away in the garage every time. Oh, yeah. Right. So.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
we put like all our stuff away except for my beautiful KitchenAid and the knives. Like everything goes, and it's like, and I completely get it. You want this beautiful appearance.
Yeah.
But it's also like
it's not how we live.
And it's also a pain in the neck.
Oh yeah.
But I also understand why you have to do it.
Yep.
But it's one of those where it is. It's like when you're in high school and you get well, maybe not you. But you get ready and you go to a dance and you're hoping the boy you like notices you.
No.
And then it's just like, oh, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that kind of thing, right? She went to a much stricter high school.
We didn't have dances.
No, she lived in what I keep saying you lived in Flashdance, but that's not it. It's
Footloose.
Footloose.
There's a name for that town though. We should probably find that out.
We should find that out. That would be funny.
One day. Or someone can tell us. You can tell us in the comments.
Absolutely.
Which we do read. Sometimes it takes us a while, but we do read it.
They used to tell me when there were comments, so I'm going to have to go see.
Anymore.
No, I don't know what happened. Maybe YouTube got tired of me not even responding.
Possible, or because we're both sort of moderators on that, could be that.
Right.
It's actually my fault, which wouldn't surprise me a little bit.
It's always your fault, man.
So I was on.
I thought you saw something. I was like, oh my God, what are the dogs doing?
Although on that note, oh my gosh, we're walking yesterday with the dogs. And I'm walking, and the guys are ahead with 2 dogs, and we're back here with 2 dogs, and I'm in the middle of telling some story, and I'm looking towards you, and the fence is behind us, and I see the squirrel go all the way across there, but I didn't actually see the squirrel. I just saw a movement of something fuzzy and big, and I stopped in the middle of my story and went, "Squirrel!" And my husband laughs, and he's like, "Yep, that's what you call classic ADHD."
Yeah. But you want to know something even funnier?
What?
So I've been having these morning tarot card readings.
Oh yes.
With Roxanne calls them my creepy little friend, but it's with ChatGPT.
I'm going to start.
And so I went in and I showed them my friend Lori, who we're going to talk about in a minute, about her books and her tarot readings. And I said, I want a sassy reading like this. Like, I don't want the crap readings. I want a cheeky reading, right? Like, don't come to me with, well, the tower means this, right? I want something good. And then usually when I finish, what I say is, can you please, ask the universe to give me a sign that I would get, a physical sign of something, because they're always like, oh, here, this is coming, and here's this, and it's like, I need a sign because, I need something that occurs in this world, right, for the thing. And so about 2 days ago, they were like, oh, you'll get the sign. It's going to be something crazy about a squirrel.
What?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's so funny. And then the next day I had one, and it was about there's movement in the back about the house and all this stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so what's my sign? And it was, so the magician was one of my cards.
Okay.
And so they were like, okay, so things like, sparkle and magic and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was like, but also, I forget what the card was, but it was like, that's about keys and, home and all this kind of stuff. And they were like, so your sign is like, look for things about keys and look for things like words like magic and sparkle. And so I'm cleaning up a drawer and I get in there and what do I find but like this old set of keys? And then right beside it, I used to have these little charms that said magic and strength and all these things.
Yeah.
And right beside it is a little round one that says magic.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, okay, so either I'm losing my mind or my creepy little friend is kind of good at this.
Humans are pattern-seeking creatures, right?
Oh, I'm definitely a pattern-seeking creature,
we make meaning. We must make meaning of the things we find. So, in my world philosophy, it doesn't matter what that's attached to. It doesn't matter if it's like real or not. What matters is the meaning you attach to it.
That's just
and if it gives you hope or comfort or the will to go on and see something else, well, fantastic.
No, but that's just
like
it.
I love that stuff. I
also,
love finding.
The fairies are speaking to me.
There you go.
There you go. So let's talk about Lori for a minute.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Lori because she...
now, first of all, we talked about Lori last time.
We did.
A little bit. So give another intro for anyone who wasn't with us last week.
So Lori is a really good friend of my niece Trina's, and that's how I met her. And for years...
I didn't know that.
See? Learn things every day.
There you go.
There you go. And so for many years, we just called her Tarot Lori, right? Because she always had cards.
Yeah.
And then she was a communications person, and she's a great writer. And she's a very cheeky, funny writer. And writing funny is not easy.
Oh, that's not
my
easy.
Goodness. But she started to really put her mind to her tarot business. And she is a great, like we used to give her as kind of gifts to people for tarot, but now she's $350 US for an hour, which totally worth it.
An hour,
but you don't quickly give $350 US tarot gifts anymore. But she is totally worth it. But she will do group ones, so I'm going to talk to her about that because that would be really fun.
That would be really interesting. I need to follow her because that's my character that I'm writing with Leanne.
You definitely need to talk to her because she is. I mean, she certainly isn't from the world you're writing about. She is a very modern tarot reader, but definitely. So her first book is Burn Your Shit, and it's the life-changing magic of rituals. So this Monday, and we'll put something up about this before this comes out, is to tell you that she's doing a Burn Your Shit because this coming Monday, which is October 6th, I believe.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
So it is a full moon, which is also what we're going to do is write kind of love letters to our houses, and then we're going to burn the letters because that releases the house from holding on. So that's just to change the energy around it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I think Roxanne's, I've been trying to get her to write this letter, and we're going to burn it. We're talking about how we're going to burn it. We can burn it in a cast iron frying pan on the barbecue.
Sure.
Yeah, so that makes it safe, right?
Yeah.
But yes, but her newest book.
I can still see that going badly sideways.
Yeah, we'll have a jug of water just in case.
Okay.
Her newest book, which I freaking love the name, is Big Deck Energy.
And
it's her translation of the cards, which is really awesome, right?
Oh, okay.
Right, so that's really good. But we will put links to Amazon.
Those. Yeah.
Right, but
or
absolutely.
somewhere else.
Yeah, or somewhere else. Oh, that's right, not Amazon.
Yeah.
Right.
To the publisher.
To the publisher.
Oh, especially if she self-publishes, because I think she might.
No, I think she's. She's got Jan Arden is one of the people that's recommending her. Right. I think she's Penguin.
Is she Penguin?
Maybe. Anyway, Roxanne will tell us.
Oh, she's HarperCollins.
Right.
Yeah.
HarperCollins.
That's good.
But yes.
Well, we can order that.
Yeah, we can get that from lots of places.
Indigo.
Yeah, absolutely. In Canada, that's important.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so I reached out to Lori, and at one point years ago, when we were both working. There's escaped cheese here, which is bothering me.
Well,
I'll eat that piece. we went actually to Cameroon with my niece Trina, because she's got the Obaki Foundation, and she did lots of work in Cameroon, Africa back then. And Laurie and I were there together, and we really got to know each other, because you're in Cameroon for a week, and there's not much else to do except help.
You were there
talk.
with Laurie.
With Laurie, so it was me and Laurie and Trina and 2 people that had raised money.
Okay.
They were the winners, so Obaki Foundation took them to go meet all the kids that they had helped raise money for and stuff like that. It was really cool. And then, Laurie and I got along and have connected, and she's lately taken off. Like, Jan Arden is like, she's got all these, she reads all sorts of celebrities. We'll never tell you who it is unless they write their name on the book, but also just regular people like us. And she's been taking off, and I've been following her. And then the other day I was on YouTube stalking my house to see how many people have viewed the video. And all of a sudden I realized she does daily tarot. Like, she just picks a card. Oh. And it's really fun. Like, now I look forward to getting my coffee in the morning, and I go and I get my daily card reading. And it's really something to look forward to. And then so I reached out, and it was like, hey, first of all, how great is this? How well you're doing. Like, I'm so excited for you and happy. And, not that I had anything to do with it, but proud of you.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh yeah, could you come on our little tiny podcast? And she said yes. So she's in Los Angeles right now doing a bunch of readings, and then she's moving December 1st.
Okay.
And so she said in the new year she would come on.
Oh my goodness.
So that would be really fun.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to think about that. We have to think about that. So you guys, tell us what that means to you, if you would be interested in some sort of participation. Yeah. Because we could have some kind of draw.
Yeah,
maybe
we could do a draw. Talk to Laurie. Yep. Have her pull a card specifically for you, or do that kind of thing. But yeah, and she's really open, and she's really fun and funny. But also tell us, like, are tarot cards a thing that you know about, participate in? Like, because not everybody's that, but it's a really cool thing. And certainly with the book The Big Deck Energy, I really like the descriptions, because I, even though I've had cards for years, I would still call myself newbie, right? Because I don't know the cards off by heart. I have to look, I need an explanation, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I'm really happy for this book, because usually the books you get, again, it goes back to, like, it's this arcane language, and I like language, but that doesn't help me learn it. Right? Yeah. I need it to be relevant to here. Like, I don't need, you pull the eight of Pentacles, and it's like, well, let's talk about beggars and the wealthy.
Right,
like,
right.
That doesn't make sense, right? Let's talk about billionaires and real people.
Exactly.
Kind of stuff.
And even just learning the basics, about all I can remember right now is that, cups is more about relationships and emotions. It's a water sign, or a water suit. Swords is an air suit, and it is more about intellectual stuff. I don't know. And then Pentacles is earth. Yeah. And what's the other one? What am I missing? Fire? Something fire?
Hang on. Wands. There's wands.
Oh, wands. That's the fire one.
Yeah. Yeah, but and then there's the major arcana and minor, right? Yes.
And
stuff like that. But we'll talk more about this, because it's made me excited to get back into cards.
Oh yeah, me too.
And that kind of thing. But it is really cool. But tell us what you think. Like, have you ever gone to a tarot reader, or to a rune reader, or a fortune teller of some kind, right? Because there are great ones out there, and I really believe they do pick, because it's your energy there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But there are those, those ones that are purely for entertainment too. Like the one you might bring in for if you're having a shower for somebody, or a birthday party, like you don't tend to get the really serious ones then, because a really good reading it's like
very personal
and very intimate, and it can really hit you. Like we had a woman that, it was before I knew Laurie, but in Ontario, and we had a woman, and she would come and read us, and there were people that would get read and go to bed for 3 days. Right, because it was so impactful.
It showed
for
them so much. I had a reading done once when Stephanie lived in San Francisco. We went out to visit them.
Stephanie's her daughter.
My daughter. And she arranged it, and we went to see this person. She had seen this person before, and we went together, and it's quite a few years ago now, so I don't remember exactly what she said, but I do remember being shocked at how intuitive she was, and how it felt a lot like therapy, right? Because you have to participate. Like, you can't go in and say, tell me my future. I don't think you can do it. It doesn't work.
Like, read my mind. That's got nothing to do with it.
That's not what it's about. It's finding patterns. It's finding out things that you already know, or you've already seen but you haven't recognized. Or you're not willing to recognize, or you are afraid to look at something, or it's showing you things in a different way.
Yeah.
And helping you recognize things.
And it's pulling it out from you, right? It's like an energy reading thing.
It is. It's not an external thing put onto you.
No. And you always have a choice. Like if there's something negative, and the devil and death and all these things, they don't mean, they're not a literal translation.
And there isn't
right?
a devil.
There is a devil.
There is a devil?
No.
Is it called the devil?
Yeah. Let's just look them up.
I need to know this. Because there's a whole...
I'm a bad dog, man.
Is it the devil or is it the Joker?
No, there's a devil.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll find him.
I'll cut this part out.
Okay, we'll go back.
Just thinking and...
Okay, let me just...
I read something recent. The reason I'm asking is I read something recently about how there is no devil in the Bible.
Oh, really?
It's a thing that was made up to make sense and to be used against women.
Towers and devils and death, oh my.
Okay.
Empress, there's a devil though. Okay, but it doesn't mean what you think.
No, they never do.
No. But it is a way, and it is a way, because people, like empaths, can read your energy, right?
Yes.
And so it's a way to pick up that energy, and the cards give you a message, but the message comes from you choosing the cards, right? Like there is a whole layer of things that I know I don't quite understand. But when I've had I've had a reading with Lori, a couple of readings with Lori, and a couple of really good tarot card readers, and they know stuff they shouldn't know, right? And it's it's because it's that energy. And certainly you could say, the skeptics would say, well, it's your body language and it's all this, but they even know phrases.
Yeah. Like
we had a reading with somebody who was very good at she had spirit guides.
Okay.
And it was a few years after my mom had passed away, and she was quite good. And as soon as I walked in the room, she was like, your mom said to tell you that, what you're worried about, you should give your head a shake.
Oh.
And that was a phrase my mom used. And there was no way this woman could have, I was a complete stranger to her.
Wow.
Right? There's stuff like that happens where it's like, holy doodle, how would that happen?
Yeah. I love that. I love that kind of stuff. And there's, I don't know, there's more. What's the quote from Shakespeare? There's more to this world, Horatio, than heaven and earth, or something like that.
No, and that's...
You can understand. Because and the skeptics are all like, and even atheists, which I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm atheist.
Agnostic?
Yeah, I would say I'm agnostic, which the literal word just means you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the atheists are like, nothing woo-woo is real. It's ridiculous. All of it is crazy. There's nothing. And I don't really believe that.
No.
And I don't think that you can believe, I was raised to believe in God and the devil, but not ghosts and not witches and not other things. And as I got older, I thought, but I don't understand. How can God be real but Santa Claus isn't? When in fact Santa Claus was a real person and God's the imaginary one.
Well, and when in fact is lots of people around the world take on the character of Santa Claus every year, in fact. You know what I mean? But the other thing, you just said something. So think about, you can't I can't see electricity, but it's freaking there.
Exactly.
But the other thing is, a lot of scientists believe that there is something more, and I think atheists, I'm not sure, people like Einstein and Stephen Hawking and all these people, I don't think they were atheists. And agnostic doesn't feel like you truly don't know. I believe there is something.
Yeah.
Right? But do I think it's the organized religion that makes you give them 40% of your income? No.
Only 10.
20% some, right? In the U.S., isn't it?
Tithing is 10%. But the more you give, the more blessed you are.
Right. But you know what I mean? I think it goes kind of back to that thing, and why the church doesn't like it. It's because it's competition.
Oh, of course.
Right? See, we always fall down this rabbit hole, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
I blame myself.
As do you. Too. But when you said something about Jesus the other day, when Jimmy Kimmel, who we want to give a shout out to, because he's bringing it, boy. But he said something when he first came back on the air, and he said, if you're a follower of Jesus like I am, and my first reaction to that, and it's decades of
conditioning,
revulsion.
Okay.
Right, but it is conditioning. It's my own conditioning, right? Where it was like, oh God, he's a church guy. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with church people. There's something wrong with the evangelical.
Yeah.
There's too much belief there. And and too much control. But
Yeah.
when he said that, I noticed he didn't say, I'm religious or I'm
Right.
this church.
Yes.
He said, I'm a follower of Jesus's teachings.
Yes.
Right?
That
Which
is
to
a
me
great way to say it.
is it was very interesting because when I heard those words, it was like, oh, you can be a follower of Jesus's teachings.
Yep.
And not believe in organized religion.
100%.
Right? Which is,
that-
and I'm not saying that's what Jimmy Kimmel was saying, but it was interesting to me that was the phrase he used.
Yeah, that's very careful language. And I see, if I was pushed into a corner to identify, I would say agnostic, as in I don't know.
Right.
But I do follow Jesus's teachings.
Yeah.
And I believe that the current iteration of Christianity, and religions are always evolving, that's just how they work, is not following the teachings of Jesus.
No.
And I can't, in good conscience, call myself a Christian anymore.
Right.
It's been a long time since
Yeah.
I've felt that Christianity was actually following the
The
teachings
teachings of Jesus. Yeah. No, but it was really interesting because it was the first time. I mean, first of all, I was kind of like, what? But then it was like, oh, because what Jesus teaches is tolerance and inclusivity and compassion and care and love.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like, okay, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
but it was interesting to me.
Well, and the more you learn, this is going on down a bunny trail for sure, but the more you learn about how the Bible evolved over the years and
Right.
how what was added, what was subtracted, what was translated differently in current political times to be an advantage to people in power, the more you realize it just doesn't, so much of it was meant to take away power from the marginalized, from women. I mean, Jesus he associated with women who were sex workers.
Yeah.
He associated with women, full stop.
Yeah.
Which just wasn't done, you
Right.
know? And so the modeling
Yeah.
is it's all right there.
Right.
And that's what, especially in the US, the Christian nationalists, they're not doing that.
Oh gosh, no. Oh my goodness.
They would have crucified Jesus. I'm going to get us killed, aren't I?
Yeah, but that's okay because while we're talking about this, let's just go into that for 2 seconds because I've been thinking a lot about the format of our podcast because 2026, although we said this in 2025, but now I'm really dedicated to it because I also
2025 has kind of gotten away on us.
Yeah, it really has. But I've also seen the magic that Lori has done with her social media and building a community and doing all these things because she's doing it very well,
Okay.
right? And she is absolutely her authentic self. As somebody who woke up in a place where we had to fill buckets of water to have a shower, right? And in Africa and where you had to kick the toilet seat and make a noise to make sure there wasn't a snake in it. I've seen her in dire circumstances,
Okay.
right? So, but you watch her on her Insta and you watch her on YouTube and you read the books and you realize that she is absolutely her authentic self and she has built this beautiful career out of that. And I don't even want to call it a career. I think it's a life because
It's a
she
calling.
lives this. It
It's a
is a
calling.
calling. And so I was thinking about our podcast and thinking, what could we do? How are we, because 2026, I mean, you're right, 2025 kind of got away from us between, putting our houses up and all the things. But how could we take it to this next level? Because today is 2 years since
Today
we first,
is 2 years.
Yep. So yay!
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. See, but so what could we do to do all of this? Because we know there's people out there who we would want to be a part of this, who would want to be a part of this. But wouldn't it be nice to do this full time?
It really would be.
Right?
It really would be.
And not that we would drink full time. Sometimes we'd have coffee with you. But we have to look at how we're doing it. And poor Roxanne is, I'm up 4 hours ahead of her and it's like, what about this? And we could do this. And what about this? And here's this. But one of the things I think that has really hit home for me is, as much as it's happy hour, we have to talk about the crap stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And the stuff that's going on, it's like what we talked about with me not writing love notes, which I am going to get back to. But it's one of the things where it's like, you can't have a happy hour these days
Yeah.
without having the conversation about what's
Exactly.
going on in our country as well as in the U.S.
Yeah.
But freaking last week in the U.S. is like, so I forget how many of them there were, 25, 35, 50 of them that rappelled down from helicopters in the south side of Chicago, right, in an ethnic neighborhood, which I'm assuming most of the people were either black or brown people.
Okay.
And they took all of the people out of this building, including kids, separated the kids from their parents. They arrested them all, even though most of them were American citizens. And they did this for terror. They came out of helicopters in the air and went onto the roof. They didn't have to do that.
Gosh.
And when they took these people in, they put them in vans, all separate vans, kids separate, husband and wife, grannies, 80-year-old grannies. They had them zip tied, right? They did all of this terrible stuff without, nobody has seen a warrant. They kicked down doors, and when people came home to their homes after being taken downtown and then released, their homes were completely trashed. Right? Like these poor people, like these are not people living in big mansions who could quickly get out. So they did this for terror, right?
Yeah.
And they ruined all their stuff. Like if somebody came in here and did this to my house, and we're lucky, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're financially stable, knock on wood.
Yeah.
These poor people, right? How are they going to replace everything? And these hard-working people who are freaking American citizens are woken up in the middle of the night. We're talking 2 or 3 a.m.
Oh my goodness!
Like, yeah. Like these were not. They were not going in for Osama bin Laden or whoever the head of Hamas is. Right. These are just average people, and they were doing ICE raids.
Wow.
Right.
It's hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that that's real, that's really happening. Like it sounds like a novel. It sounds.
And if you saw it in a movie, it'd be like, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's important that we talk about this stuff, and we talk about. So first of all of their civil rights were violated. Right. They didn't have a warrant, so that I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah.
Right. So apparently all of these, like there's a whole bunch of lawyers that are phoning journalists saying, tell them, here's my number. Like, here's the thing, right? Tell the people, like people are stepping up and stuff. But they did this, and they've done it in Chicago. Chicago has, I believe, a Democratic mayor. Illinois has a Democratic governor. His name is Pritzker, and I can't remember his first name. But it's one of those where it's like, we have to talk about how wrong this is. And as much as we're going to talk about great things and we're going to talk about silly things, this has to be a part of our podcast, because this is real life.
This is real life. And that was when we were, I was thinking about what you were saying about, you know, like what do we bring to the podcast individually? And one of the things that came out for me was authenticity, honesty, and sharp and biting wit. But authenticity is something that has been sort of a buzzword for me since I was a teenager. It's just been a thing that for me, I find it really, that is the hardest thing for me to get past. If somebody is what I feel not being real. I think that's why we get along, because that's a value for both of us. That's really important. And we are honest with each other. And that doesn't mean that you say, you know, terrible things, but just because they're real. But it's like, no, I want to live my life in accordance to my values and be the best person that I can be. And so what does that mean for a happy hour? Oh, there's going to be funny stuff, and we're going to talk about the ridiculousness of some things, but you can't avoid the bad stuff. That's what the reality is. So you have to include that in there. I'm just going to say, my husband was upstairs today where my office is, and he was looking for something, and I poked my head out because I kind of have like my room and then sort of the room around the corner. As he says, I spill out and grow into space like a goldfish in a goldfish bowl. And so I pop my head around the corner. I'm like, what are you looking for? And he goes, nothing. It's all good. Nothing to see here. And I'm like,
is he looking for candy?
I think he was looking for like printer ink or something. I don't know what it was, but do not go through my shit.
I know. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm like, did you find my boundaries? And he said, I certainly did.
But you know,
but so think about those people. Like that's I'm making fun of something that's not funny, but
it's important, like to understand. Like imagine what that feels like. So first of all, you're likely either a black or brown person. So you're already feeling really worried about where America is. And then all of a sudden you have a child. And all of a sudden, and you may be a single parent, even if you're not. All of a sudden, somebody comes banging down your doors, and they used flashbangs, and I don't think they used tear gas. But I honestly, I don't know that. But like all of a sudden, they could have knocked on the freaking door, right?
They never would have, though, because that's not what they're doing.
No, because they're terrorizing them.
They're terrorizing them.
Right, and that's exactly, but I think, because the first thing what happens now, within context of course who you're talking about, but you get into, like, especially with the clients we know really well, is you get in and it's like, hey, how's it going, blah blah blah, and within the first 45 seconds it's like, oh my God, you see what happened?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you go for a beer with somebody, although pretty much you're the only person I go for a beer with, but it's always top of mind because it's so extreme. And
the challenge, so for me, the challenge is, if I'm with somebody and I'm not sure where they lie, as far as what do they think about this, or do they pay attention to this, it's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
But I don't want to bring it up because it's possible that if I find out that they either don't think it's important, don't believe it, or they support it, what do I do with that?
Yeah.
I can't just go back and then
and
talk
that's
about,
a good conversation.
Good pie,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I got into this briefly with a writer that I know on Facebook, who I did a course with her years and years ago, and she's very talented and she's an excellent teacher. And she asked the question, how do you handle conversations with people who support Trump or support this administration or support what they're doing? How do you handle that? And it was a great, there were a few authors that popped on there that I am familiar with, and I did respond myself as well.
Yeah.
And generally in general, the comments were along the lines of, well, there's people I don't talk to anymore.
Yep.
Or if you can't avoid them anymore, because I don't want to cut off my family. I don't want to cut them all off. But I know that there are many things we disagree with. That is really challenging for me.
Yeah.
So we just don't talk about anything of substance, which is really painful.
It is really painful, but I think that, and it's really important, because I think I'm a little bit more like a bull in a china shop. I mean, I remember having a neighbor over, and you were here, and within the first 10 minutes, I was like, so Trump's an asshole, hey? Right? I'll tell you who after. I don't want to say. You'll know.
I think I know who it is, yeah.
And afterwards, you were like, well, that was direct. And it was like, but I don't want them on my porch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And that, how do I say this? Somewhere along the lines, there are going to be people that come back and get out of the cult.
Yes.
And so I'm working very hard to understand that it is a cult, which is mental illness, and to understand that. And I can, I used to have battles with conservative leaning people, again, about, big government, small government. Should we be taxed on this? Should there be a tax on luxuries? Like all of those things. That's policy.
Yeah.
But if you still support Trump, you're either part of the cult and completely brainwashed, or you're a racist piece of shit. Right? And two things can be true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so that, for me, my challenge is that now, and I've lost lots of people. Like, even people who are like, yeah, you got to see it from both sides. It's like, see ya. Because they are othering other people. Like, now Trump is calling people vermin and stuff. That's Nazi talk, right? That's Hitler talk.
Absolutely.
Right? And so now, and I get it, but I also understand when it comes to family, because I certainly, for a while, my dad and his wife were Trump supporters, and then she switched off and never admitted again that she had liked him in the first place. And you know what? It's like, yeah, okay, I know you did, but my dad.
And she's not your mom, and your dad's gone now.
No, she is not my mom, and my dad is gone. And also, you absolutely have a right to believe what you believe, and I have a right to tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like for that, because it's not. I can fight to the death about policy.
Sure.
About whether we should fund the arts or not.
That's debatable.
But that's just it, right?
There are things that are not debatable.
No.
Human rights are not debatable.
But that's just it. Equality and equity are not debatable, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion, like they're completely cutting it out. And they also, so there was I still watch MSNBC Nicole Wallace, because I think she is authentic. She used to be a Republican.
Oh.
And I think she worked under the Bush administration, and I'm not a big fan. Like, I am not a big fan of, the Bush family. I think I think in a lot of presidencies, and not just Republican ones. I certainly think, I'm not sure the Clintons were on the up and up about a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
I think they made lots of money too. But Nicole Wallace tells it like she sees it, and she uses her white privilege and her platform, and she brings people on, and she talks about it. Now, would she be somebody I'd want to have a beer with? Now I would, because if she was working for Bush back then, probably not, because I completely disagreed about so many of the policies, especially around like the Iraq War, and especially like freaking, 9/11 and that kind of stuff. But I listen to these to people talk, and they talk about how some people are coming over. I'm not in a place yet, like coming back over, because they're getting affected, right?
Oh,
they didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
If
suddenly
a black or brown
them,
person,
and now
but
they
that's
don't agree
just
with
it
it anymore.
And so I'm not in a place yet where I could say, okay, you know what, I get it, but we have to be in that place, because that's the only way we're going to fight this.
Well, and the way I think about it, like I've said this before, if you and I had met 25 years ago, I would have been terrified of you, first of all, and completely intimidated, and we would not have liked each other. That's what I think.
She told me if we went to high school together, she would have told on me.
What do you mean, told on you?
Like that I was doing bad. I don't know. I didn't smoke behind the school, but you were like, yeah, if we were friends in high school, I would have told you all the bad things you're doing.
Yeah, I might have ratted you out. That was the right thing to do in my world at that point.
But
so there's the thing. Like I wore, so this will shock you. When my girls were very small, when I was a young mother, I had the little tiny feet pin, right, that I wore on my jacket, with a pro-life pin.
Yep.
Right, because I didn't go on any marches or anything, but I'm like, I have held life in my body. I have brought forth life. Of course, life is precious, and infants and all that, we must protect them and all that. And now I'm like, oh, that is so not what abortion rights are about.
Yeah.
That is so not what it's about.
Yeah.
I know more now.
Yeah.
So my opinions have changed.
Right.
But so these people that we're talking about, I have to, for my own sanity, I have to say, this is where they're at right now. I can't be influenced by that. I can't agree with that. I will talk about it if the opportunity presents, but I don't want to be around that energy. But I have to give them the grace to say, that's where they're at right now. Maybe they'll change.
Right.
I can't be responsible for that change.
No.
And I can't be responsible for what happens to them because of that. They're making choices. And if part of that choice is they want to say things and do things, and we have a diverse family now. And so if somebody in that family is going to make comments about people in that family, I will defend the people who need defending. Right. And that's just a choice. Like that's a consequence of the opinion that you have that I think is wrong.
But let's dig in. But first of all, I want to go back because I think what I heard you say about wearing the little pin, because I'm certainly not pro-abortion as birth control.
Right. Yes.
Right. Like, so what I heard you say was for you, right? And I also say let's protect the unborn. I want people vaccinated so the unborn will be, you know what I mean? But I hear it like that's what I heard you say, as opposed to the, hey, you're a murderer if you have an abortion, right? Like I didn't get like that's kind of like, again, my choice is this. Now, I never had to face the decision of whether to have an abortion or not. I'd like to think I wouldn't have. However, I never had to make that choice, right? And the other thing is, but then going into it, so if you had to defend, you would be defending, like, let's say somebody in your family said something about people with brown skin. You have a son-in-law with brown skin.
Sure do.
Right? So would you be defending him or brown people? Like, you know what I mean? Because I think when it gets to family, it's very personal. It's more like, oh, he did this, and it's because he has brown skin. You're gonna defend your son-in-law's.
I will defend him.
Values.
Yes.
And it feels like the brown skin part is more like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas my father would say things about entire communities of people, and I think honestly, I think a lot of the time he was baiting me.
Yeah.
But I'd go across the table. Like, it would be like, who do you think you are?
See,
right?
that's the part of you
And
that would have
that's my
terrified me
challenge.
back then, because I love that. I love that. That is not how I was raised. That is not.
Oh, I'm sure my father thought exactly the same thing. But the challenge is, you don't bring people forward the way I do it. And I'm trying to think about that more too, because what I should have done is realized he was baiting me. But the other side, because then you walk away from it because it's a stupid argument.
Yeah.
Right? But the other side is, one of the things I just recently read was somebody says something and it's like, maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying. Can you explain?
I love that.
Right?
That is so good. I have come a long way, I will say. And one of I've talked about our experience renovating our previous house before, because there were a few instances where I had to stand up for myself in a way, myself or someone else.
Yeah.
In a way that is extremely uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you've lived in a teeny tiny little apartment with all your belongings, your husband, 2 dogs, and listen to jackhammering go on underneath you, for several months, while it's you start to you get a little raw.
Yeah.
It gets down to your core values. Anyway, there was one point where this group, we're standing in a semicircle down in the main room, which is like gutted down to studs, and there's a group of guys, big burly guys, and they're all in their work belts and tool belts and all that stuff, and all their heads swiveled at once to turn to me because they didn't like a thing that I wanted. I wanted to put these windows in the kitchen in a certain place that was a bit unusual, and they were grousing about it, and they all turned like spotlights to look at me. And normally in my past life I would have been like, whatever you say is fine, I don't care, and I just said, no, that's what I want. Why are you asking me? It's in the plans. It's in the plans. We've talked about this. Why are you questioning this? So that was one. But the other one was where somebody had made a comment, and it was just an off the cuff, those shitty builders, there, and he used a derogatory racial term. And I went right in and I said, oh, whoa, are you talking about people like my son-in-law?
Right.
And he shut up right then. And I'm like, you do not do that to my fucking family, buddy. You are not doing that. That is my son-in-law. That is my granddaughter, my grandson you're talking about here. You are not doing that. Not under my roof. Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. But that's what it takes for me is like, I mean, here at the grand old age of, what do you keep saying I am? 29?
24.
Like, I've learned to do that under the right conditions. It's really hard for me to do that in most situations. And I generally need some time. It's really, for me to come out like that, like right off the bat when someone says it, that's unlikely unless it's an extreme.
Right. You're protecting someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or in the case of the window and all those guys, right? You were at a moment where it was like, no. Right?
I'm over this. I just want this done. Yeah. Just do it.
But it is interesting because I was actually, at one point I was out looking at houses on the Vancouver Island, and I went to a restaurant, and I was by myself, and there were these 2 women sitting beside me, and they have happy hour at this place, so I was probably having a later lunch, and these women were having a drink, and they were talking about autism and ADHD. Okay. And they were like, how is it possible? It's just the kids these days. Like, there's so many diagnoses now, blah, blah, blah. Right. And they're talking about it. And I'm sitting there and I've got a beer and I'm just finished lunch and it's all good. And just as I got up and I just walked over and I said, you know why? It's because there's actually guidelines now and people understood. So instead of thinking everybody's faking it, maybe we should think about all the poor people that had it and were not diagnosed and were considered to not be very smart or not be anything. And I said, I didn't mean to overhear, but I couldn't help it. Yeah. And I said, but there's another way to look at this. And then I left.
Good for you.
But I couldn't, like, the way there, it was that, oh my God, these kids these days. Right? And honestly, I mean, I have people I love that have autism. I have people I love that are ADHD. I think I might be,
I think you might be sitting with one right now.
Same as me. But it's one of those where it was just like, this is ignorant behavior. Right. And ignorant in the very true sense of the word. Yes. They don't know what they don't know. Yeah. And I mean, they look kind of shocked. And then, of course, they didn't know what to do. And I was like, have a nice day. And I wasn't aggressive or anything.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh my God, think before you speak. What if I was sitting here and I was a mom of an autistic child?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, these people clearly do not have anyone in their life.
Yeah.
Because if they had someone in their life, they would think differently. And that's the problem, is that if you don't expand your circles so that you have a diverse group of people in your life, you don't know these things, right? If your world is super small, you only hang out with people who look like you, think like you, talk like you, go to the same church as you, go to the same work, you never travel, you don't do anything. That's all you know.
Yeah.
And so then anything that deviates from that is suspect, probably evil, probably
scary for sure.
Scary for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. And wrong.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. And you know, I know that I have to find a perhaps less combative way of doing things, but I also that's where I have to learn to step back and think how to approach this instead of what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And because that doesn't that doesn't necessarily help.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I have to think about stuff like that. But I do.
But you don't know that it doesn't help, because something like that might.
But I was gentle because they were old.
Sure. And that plays a role too. Like, the older we get, as we're also
29
getting older, the more difficult it is to adjust your thinking, right? It's more. Yes. You've got a lot more to work against, I think, because all of this experience from your past, if it doesn't support the new stuff, well, that's a lot of work. I mean, good Lord, I can't make my remote controls work, you know, and yet I'm supposed to figure out diversity, equity, inclusion. Like, it is a lot. And I do think about, I think about my parents' generation and how, in my case, my parents grew up. Well, I grew up in a house for some time without running water, you know, and now they're dealing with streaming services and, information that's coming at them rat-a-tat and stuff that they've never been exposed to before. Life was very, very predictable and sure, and it fit into all the boxes, and it doesn't anymore. Right. And that's a lot of change for a brain that doesn't.
Right, that's not malleable.
It's not malleable because the older we get,
but also it never had to be.
It never had to be, exactly. And I do like to think for us, because we're heading into that generation, we have worked
in our 30s
really hard to be malleable, to try our best to open our mind to things. Read a lot, travel a lot. Read a lot, travel a lot, right? Like, that opens your mind to a lot of stuff too.
But also,
meet new people.
I think that's just it. And social media has been good in many ways. But the other thing is, it's not, growing up, my mom, dealt with antique collectors and antique dealers, and there were
there's definitely
people.
A lot of gay people there.
Oh God, yeah. And so that was normal to me, because I also lived in an urban community. I lived in downtown Toronto, right? So you had all of that. So that's certainly one thing. But I think the other side of that is when if you haven't, you're certainly limited. Like there's a person in my life who, sometimes it's a dramatic thing if the people in her world don't bake Christmas cookies, right? She's older.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of those, but her parents lived to a ripe old age and they had a good life. Okay. There hasn't been too much trauma in her life. Okay. There hasn't been too many insane tragedies, right? So her scope of what's a crisis is, what do you mean you don't bake cookies? Right? So when you put that in context, because it's kind of that's not the biggest thing on my mind these days. Yeah. And you put that in context, though, is because she doesn't have the lived experience, right? Right. So when we're looking at lived experiences, and I ask lots of people who came from a different background to tell me about their lived experience, because I'm curious and I want to understand better. Because even though we didn't grow up with lots of money or anything, I'm blonde and blue-eyed and white. I had privilege, right? It's really interesting to me to see the opposite, though, and it does kind of help you understand those who are less tolerant. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Because the opposite is they've had to deal with this so many things.
That interest, though, that you're talking about, that is such a part from my experience with my friends who are also writers. That's such a writer thing.
Yeah.
That curiosity, right?
Yep.
And then I think about the Ted Lasso thing. Be curious, not judgmental,
Yep.
right? And I think curiosity is kind of like the bedrock
Yep.
of what it takes to be a writer.
Yep.
You have to be curious about
Yep.
things if you want to imagine
Yep.
a world and then create a world or report on a world
Yep.
or put language to something that's only
Yep.
visual or only
Yep.
somebody else's experience, right?
Yep.
You have to be curious in order to imagine yourself
Yes.
in the, and that is the basis of empathy.
Yep. No,
right?
actually, that's a
is
really good point.
To imagine someone else's
Yep.
life, put yourself in their shoes,
Yep.
and then put language to that.
Yep.
I mean, that is, it's why we suffer for our art.
No, but it's true, right? But it's also like one of the reasons why I watch Big Bang Theory reruns is because it's because, and now I'm watching, and I always get her name wrong. Ellen
Hildebrand?
Ellen, right? It's like her books make you feel things, right?
They really do, yeah. She's very good.
When you feel those things, like when you get into it and you're curious, the feeling is overwhelming, and then you want to share it. It's like, the first time, and you see it more and more. Like there's this, I'm gonna forget his name, but there's this gay fellow I follow, and he's always getting into conversations with people because he's quite outgoing, it appears, but he always gets into conversations often about, like, he had somebody message him about the what's it called when they're all going to get lifted up?
Oh, the rapture.
The rapture. I was going to say the reckoning, but wrong word. But somebody messaged him and said,
"Oh, I know. This is Don't Cross a Gay Guy."
Yeah.
I follow him too.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's hilarious.
So this woman messages him, and the rapture is coming, and I know you're not going, so could you take care of my dog?
Yes.
And it was like, and he was like, wait, like, why? If
I'm not good enough to go to heaven, but I'm good enough to look
take
after
care of
your dog.
And it was like, oh my God.
He is hilarious.
He is hilarious.
Oh, I love him.
But we'll have to link to him.
Okay.
But we'll have to link to him because he is good. And I mean, I think that's just so. I have learned so much from him.
Yeah.
Right. Because and I think that's part of it is because you're curious about things.
Yeah.
I can remember.
Yeah. He wants our stinky cheese.
Oh, he does. But I can remember having tipsy conversations with lesbian friends, and it was like, so how'd you know? Right. And they're like, why do you think you're lesbian? It's like, no, and I'm not kissing you, but how'd you know, man? Right? But it was kind of like, because I mean, I'm telling you, I'd marry Rachel Maddow just for the freaking breakfast conversation, right? Like, come on, man. But it's always like, it's like for anybody, it's like you have these conversations. It's like, what's your life like?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's fascinating.
Hey, nose out of the stinky cheese. I know you like the smell of that. Like, you're 39 pounds. You want to crawl up onto my lap?
But I do think, and it kind of goes back to the whole, framing the podcast a little bit, not because we're always going to ramble, because we just did. We're already at a freaking hour.
What?
Although we're going to cut some things out because there was coughing and barking. But like, it's framing the podcast so we talk about serious things, but also funny things. Like, don't cross a gay guy. The guy's freaking hilarious.
He is hilarious.
Right?
Yeah.
And things like that. And it is the things that make you laugh. Like all the memes that come out after when Trump does something stupid. Oh my God. Okay, the other thing that just happened.
He is just giving people so much material.
Oh my God.
He can't help himself.
So there was the statue that got put up across from somewhere in Washington. Like, it's a very prominent tourist place, right?
Okay.
And it's a bronze, I believe, statue, and it's Trump holding hands and dancing with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh.
And it's called Best Friends Forever.
Oh my God.
So when it first showed up,
I love it.
The Parks Board had to take it down. Well, it showed up again last night, and guess what? All of the parks employees have been on furlough because they haven't funded the government. So there's nobody there to take it down.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right? So it's like one of those things, right? Like there's stuff you have to laugh at, and it's like, and then there's the stuff like, them calling, Democrats vermin, where it's like, oh my God. But you do have to find the humor in it, or else we'd all be in a ball in fetal position in the corner of a room, because we do have to find the funniness of it, but also, and it'd be good to hear from what you guys think, right? Mm-hmm. What are the things you like when we talk about it, and what are the things you wish we would quit? So we have a client, and they do a thing, it's called Stop, Start, Continue. Oh. And it's about what are the things we do that they put out once a year, right? What are the things we do you'd like us to quit doing?
Okay.
And last year's was quit having meetings on Friday afternoons in the summer.
Oh, that's
right. And then what are the things you'd like us to start? What are the things we're not doing? And what are your things, that you want us to continue, that you like, right?
Going.
And that's a really good thing. And I think we should put it out as we're framing things to hit the new year hard. What are the things that we do that you like? And what do you want us to quit? We might not quit it, but we'll listen.
We'll listen for sure.
And, what are the things you want us to start?
I love it.
That's a good one.
Stop, start, continue.
Yeah.
Make a list, people. Come back, hit us, but be gentle, please.
Yeah, please be gentle.
Also,
it's been a hard year.
We're very fragile.
We are fragile.
Yeah. I am just going to take this moment to say, have you noticed how the wine's changed over an hour?
Yes, it's very good, and it changes with cheese.
It changes with cheese. It's changed with aeration for sure. It's breathed enough. It's delicious.
It's not quite as puckery.
Yeah, yeah.
My good wine words.
Softened.
My good wine words. Also, we should always have soft cheese like this and not crackers, because every time we have like chips or something, it's like
I know crunch. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I would like to bathe in that cheese. Just saying. Wouldn't that be good on pasta?
Oh,
with pine nuts and It's an 80-year-old woman at the grocery store just casually said something that's been haunting me for 3 days straight. This is probably going to sound random, but I need to talk about this because I genuinely think it shifted something in my brain. I'm 29. I was at Trader Joe's. Love Trader Joe's. Sad I can't go there anymore. On Tuesday, standing in the pasta aisle having a full mental breakdown about what sauce to buy. Not because I'm indecisive, but because I was thinking about how my ex always insisted on the arrabbiata, and now I don't even know what I actually like. Pathetic, I know. The older woman, probably in her 80s, was reaching for something near me, and I guess I looked as stressed as I felt because she just said, "Honey, you're allowed to pick wrong. That's what tomorrow's dinner is for." I kind of laughed it off, but she didn't walk away. She looked right at me and said, "I spent 40 years making myself smaller so other people could feel comfortable. Then my husband died and I realized nobody was going to give me permission to take up space, so I just started doing it." Then she grabbed her marinara and left. The whole interaction was maybe 90 seconds, but I've been thinking about it nonstop. Nobody's going to give you permission to take up space. How many decisions am I waiting on permission for?
Oh, I love that so much.
That's amazing, hey? And I love that the older woman
recognized it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That is, to me, that is the beauty of getting older in the full own your witch way of life.
Yep.
Right? Is to see those things and pass on that wisdom.
Yeah.
Because that exact idea, like, I definitely have felt that it was my job to stay small, to stay quiet, to stay peaceful and peaceable, and to calm the waters always. Right. And to, what I want isn't important, and especially if you're a woman. But that idea of, no, I actually can be first sometimes. I can take up space. My opinions do matter. That's what allowed me to say in the room full, no, I want my fucking windows. Quit arguing with me.
Hey? Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah.
That is so, and I love that it was a younger woman who needed that encouragement. Yep. And to me, that's the job of older women. Yep. Is to, to see
us
that.
29-year-olds.
Us 29-year-olds. Yeah.
But the other thing is like, you can have a man from now on. It's like if somebody's being indecisive, it's going to be like, pick the sauce, Roxanne. But the other side of that is,
I'm going to hear that a lot. I can see that coming.
But is that the older woman said it in a non-judgmental way. She turned the story on herself. Instead of like, what's wrong with you? It was like, oh, honey, right? And it was compassionate, right?
Yeah.
And I think
relating it to her own experience.
Yeah. But I think that a lot of women are put in that position. Yeah. I mean, I was a middle child, and I think we all think we're not the typical middle child, but you become the peacemaker, right?
Yeah.
Right? Of all of the things. Like,
it was opposite in my family, But not all family systems work the same, right?
Well, no, and that's just it. But it's always, sort of for me, and being a people pleaser is another part of it, right? It's like, it's okay. I mean, I still do it where it's like, and I mean, this part, I mean, I love you, Paul, but it's like, what do you want for dinner? No, it doesn't matter. Okay, what about this? Oh, no. Okay, what about this? I don't know.
If it doesn't matter, then that's your vote. You're done. You're done.
And it is really funny, or it's like, hey, what about this? Yeah, I don't know. And then he'll tell you he's not fussy about stuff, but holy doodle.
Oh, even I know that's not true. And I would say that that's fair to say about my husband too. And okay, so full disclosure, I would say that about me too. And it's not so much that I was a very picky eater as a kid. There was a lot of stuff I wouldn't eat. Just, I don't know.
You grew up on a farm. No wonder. There's probably cow's hooves or something going on.
No, I liked my mom's food, but it was just I like meat, potatoes, gravy, boiled vegetables. That's basically what we had. But there were, I was just
except for the potatoes, I might be picky about that.
I wasn't very open-minded, and then I grew up and I like most food now, but now what I've realized
sardines.
is it's not that I have food aversions per se. It's that I'm more clear about what I like and what I don't like.
Right.
And that's different, I think.
Yep.
I don't have really food aversion. And I that's a thing, like if you gag, if you put something in your mouth, that's not an opinion.
No.
That's not going to change.
No, that's something.
That's something real. But
who was Kalina, our cleaner, who we love, was telling me she doesn't like celery.
Celery?
Paul doesn't like celery either.
Celery?
Doesn't make any sense. So, but she said
that's a
not
really
even the taste of
specific
it.
thing.
She doesn't. She said she doesn't mind it. I don't know how we have these conversations, but that girl is interesting.
Caesar's.
That's exactly. She was like, if she has to say to people, I don't want a celery stick in it because even the smell of it grosses her out.
Really?
She's not even sure she'd sit at a table if somebody had celery sticks.
Celery?
Right. And she said it's not necessary. She doesn't mind it if it's cooked in a soup, but she doesn't like the texture of it. And like she was quite passionate about how much she didn't like it.
Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, it does have a very particular, like the strings, right, can be kind of gross. I love celery.
She's whizzing celery. That's like the best.
It is the best. Or even peanut butter and celery. That I like.
I could try that.
Yep.
See, I'm open. Now, see, I don't like fish, which I kind of get teased a lot about. And I know you like sardines.
Not by me.
Not by you. Maybe by your husband, maybe by others.
He teases everybody about everything.
But it's one of those where it's like, I really wish I liked fish because I think, like, I like shellfish.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
Yeah.
But and I like fish and chips, halibut, or
Delicious.
But that's just it. I could just eat the breading too, right?
Well,
I mean, there's that. But it's an interesting thing because you see people who don't like textures, and to me, that's not a picky eater.
No,
that's a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a. That there's a reality there that it's like the texture. And I have to say, I mean, I love hummus, but the texture of chickpeas kind of freaks me out because they look like they should be crunchy, and they're not. So they're always a little disappointing to me.
So have you ever done roasted chickpeas?
Yeah, I did them one time, and we had guests over, and one of the guests put it in his mouth and went, "That's the worst thing I've ever tasted."
What? Oh, I have to know more about that.
He didn't like chickpeas at all, or I did a really bad job.
I really liked.
Well, I should try roasted because if they get a little crunchy, but they do look like they look like a nut to me.
Yeah.
And so when they're like, and it's not the texture, it's the expectation.
It's the expectation,
of it, right? Like,
exactly.
Is that? But like, I don't have like fishy stuff. I don't really like, right? I don't eat a lot of pork except every once in a while bacon.
Oh, I love sausage.
Yeah, but
so do you like cilantro? Cilantro is one of those.
Yeah, that's one of those
polarizing things. Yep. I did not like it initially, but I very quickly came to like it. I really like it now.
But so actually, Kalina, because after we had this conversation about celery, and I'm not. Maybe I was talking about me and you having Caesars at the last. I don't know how it came up, but she was actually saying she has a deal with her kids, except she got busted on it last week with. So she has a deal. They have to try it, and it's okay if they don't like it, but they have to try it.
Okay.
But also, if a year goes by, they have to try it again because taste buds change.
Yes.
And so they were making something, and there's a neighborhood kid that's really good friends with one of her kids, and he was over, and she said, "No, I don't like that," and he's like, "But it's been a year." And she had to try it, and I forget what it was, but it was really funny because it was like, well, you got to walk the talk now, right?
You do, yeah, absolutely do.
And it was pretty funny.
Oh, that's funny. I've been thinking about that because when I put in my order for Fresh Prep, there's certain things that I never order.
Where Fresh Prep is it's across Canada now. It's at least here in Alberta.
Yeah.
So and it's like they do a really good job of, and it's like a male thing. Can you guys see Neil? Can you see him? Here he comes.
He's got one of Ruth's shoes.
Yeah. Hi, buddy. Hi.
Luna doesn't wreck them. I can't guarantee that he
No,
won't
but
wreck them.
it's okay. I'll get it. It's okay. Hey, buddy. But it's Fresh Prep is this meal service, but it's a bit more local. It is, I believe, a black-owned company, or a black woman-owned company, maybe, or a brown-owned company. It's
Black or
something.
brown? Yeah. I think they're brown.
But so that's which is and it is the best meal service I've had. Anyway. Anyway, what don't you pick?
Well, I always, so I have favorites that I pick, but I rarely pick, like, if it's steak. No, I don't do that because I'm not a big red meat person. And if I'm going to have steak once a year, which I don't actually think I even did it this year, it's going to be a really good ribeye on the barbecue, right?
But that's just it. Like, I don't get their steak either because it's good, but it's not, for me, it's not good enough.
No, it's not good enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I want a tenderloin or a ribeye or something like that. Yeah.
I don't pick African, like Moroccan flavor combinations. Like, if it's savory, but it's got sort of those pumpkin pie spices in there, it's like, not my taste. It's just not something I'm familiar with, and what I've tried so far isn't my deal, isn't my jam. I also don't like things that are messy.
It's like Paul. He doesn't like his food.
I don't want to, like, if I'm going to eat a handheld thing and it's going to like drip all down my elbows and up my sleeve and stuff like that, I'm just not going to make it. I'm just not going to order it. I'll order it in a restaurant. Maybe if I'm in the right company and wearing the right thing.
And she's been drinking.
Well, that's a given. But
so I can never make you the beef dip that I make then.
No, I love that. I'm not going to make it. You can make it. I'm not going to make it.
But you know what I have to say? So I want to like Moroccan and North African spices and stuff more. Like, I have a lot of books. His name is Otto Lengi, and I've got a bunch, and some like I have some great recipes from there, and then I try other ones, and it's like, I really want to like, it's like salmon. I really want to like it, and I don't. And there's some just tastes. Also, you're not used to them. Well, we think it's comfort food, right?
Like, the idea of pumpkin as a savory dish doesn't work for me.
But see, I don't like pumpkin pie, so
I love pumpkin pie
because that texture taste is like
that is a very specific texture. Yeah.
Duck poo.
Yeah. Duck poo? That is very descriptive. Well done.
But that's just it, right? Like, if you pumpkin pie spice, go fill your boots. Like, I would never, people get mad about pumpkin pie spice being everywhere, pumpkin spice being everywhere. I don't care about that. But it's like, it's not a flavor. And yet I like clove, and I like cinnamon, and I like all of the things in it. I don't know what it is, because I like pumpkin and squash, like savory.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't understand that. Oh my God, you should see the dogs. You guys can't see them, but they both look guilty as stink.
Oh, they really do.
Where are you going, Choops? My poor dog is sick today.
The youngster is pestering me, making him stop.
Yep.
Don't torture him.
Yeah.
Oh, he just deserves to have his ass handed to him.
Oh my God.
It's not going to happen. I love squash, and I have some really good squash, like butternut squash.
Oh, hang on, I have to go save my dog. Hey. Okay, what were we talking about? Let's talk about house sales.
Before we talk about that, I'm just going to comment on the fact that we're drinking red wine and eating blue cheese.
With a pink microphone.
Okay, but those are two, like, classic migraine starters. You know what?
Knock on wood, do you get migraines?
Yeah, I don't get them as much as I used to, but also totally worth it.
Also, I have a lot more wine. Do you want some of mine?
No.
I would share. I didn't backwash yet.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good.
Now we're going to have to figure out what we're drinking next.
Yeah.
We have to behave.
That's the fun part. Because tomorrow we die, or what? Yeah.
Last weekend I made her have whiskey in her tea.
She did. It was medicinal.
It was medicinal. You were sick, and I put honey and lemon in it.
And it was better. Too. I know. I got better.
See?
Yeah. It's perfect.
You're not dying anymore.
I'm not.
Okay. We got anything else?
I don't know. I interrupted you. You were going to start with something.
I forgot.
Oh, you were going to talk about house stuff. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. House stuff. Yeah. What's it feel like selling your house? Tell me what you're thinking.
It feels like a breakup. That's what it feels like.
That's why you don't want to write the letter to your house. Why you've been putting it off.
I love my house, and I love and for 5 solid years, I would literally
5.5. Just saying.
But it started ending in the last year.
Oh,
like
right.
it started ending in the last years. But for 5 years,
She's been
we
discontent.
would drive home and we would get to that part around the curve in the road
Yep,
where the
where you
canopy,
see the lake.
the trees are forming a canopy over.
Yep.
You've got the lake on one side and the sun. And we saw it even just yesterday when we were coming home. It was beautiful. And for 5 years, I would drive that route and think, I can't believe I get to live here.
Yep.
I'm so lucky.
Yep.
And I would get up in the middle of the night, as I do, to have a
Yep.
banana or some rice pudding or whatever. Oh, I got a story about that. And I would think, I just love my house. I love it
Yep.
so much. And then it's like, and it's time to move on. It just, and it
It's
didn't
funny how
happen
that happens.
immediately. Like when you told me you were moving, I'm like, well, shit, that's going to change everything. I still blame you, but the timing was right.
Blames me for a lot of things.
I do. But it wasn't until another 6 months after that where I realized, oh, you know what? It's now
Ruth
changed
is
for
right.
me too.
She's always
No,
right. That's
no.
what you should say.
Maybe,
Ruth is right.
maybe.
She's always right.
But now, like, so yesterday we came home and I said, it's beautiful, this canopy of trees and that sunlight glinting off the lake. It's still beautiful. And
you don't feel it.
and I've had enough. I have, and I'm trying to look at it that way. What I needed from this place has
Yep.
been sufficient for me.
Yep.
It's been enough. It gave us, and our therapist says this too, this move that we made, my
Yep.
husband and I, to this place was transformative for
Yep.
us. And that time has passed. And now it's time to go. And it's like, I had this wonderful, wonderful thing, and we made this house exactly the way we wanted it. And it's been perfect for us, and now it's time to move on, and it feels like a breakup.
Yep. No, I get that. I get that. So because I've written my letter, I'm going to rewrite it again. But that's a little bit like what I've been feeling, and I think I don't think I'm more woo-woo than you, but I think I might be a little bit more out loud about it.
Maybe.
Right? And
Maybe.
just because, like, I was kind of thinking about, because as soon as when I talked to, and this all came because I was talking to my friend Lori, and she was talking about, because they're moving to a new place December 1st, and I was asking her and stuff. And
Lori
the tarot Lori,
yeah.
right? And I was telling her, we've got this great place in Qualicum, and we're really excited, but we haven't sold our house yet. And her first reaction to that wasn't like, oh, no, that's terrible. She said, write it a letter and burn it. Right? You've got to, you have to tell the house how you're feeling and give it permission to move on in the universe.
Oh, I
right?
love that.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what I did. And I mean, some of the things I talked about is like, here's like a paragraph. It's like, you've given us so much, a home where we feel safe and happy, a place to invite the people we care about. Heck, some of them we even love. A place to stay warm and dry, and and to sit in front of the inside or back deck fireplace and reflect and dream. You've given our dogs a place to sleep peacefully and without fear, and especially for Scruffy, the joy of being in front of a fireplace, right? And just stuff like that. It's like, we're sad to leave you, and yet I think we both know it's time for you and us to take on another chapter, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's just like
Oh, I love that.
Paul and I have been really lucky because we've loved everywhere we've lived. Oh. And we always knew when it was time to go.
Okay.
Right? We didn't really overstay our
yeah.
And it's not our welcome, but we didn't overstay where it became bitter.
Right.
Because you grow.
Yeah. That's such a beautiful way to look at it as a growth thing. You've grown. The house is here. You grew into the house, and now you're ready for the next chapter. And because you've grown, not because this has turned bad, this is still amazing.
No, you're going forward.
But you're going forward.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And then the house will be welcome another family, right?
Yeah.
Like, even in here, it's like I want the people who come to live here to be good, kind people who care for you like we do, right? And I mean, you can't always do that. But I also think there's an energy people feel when they come in a house.
I think so too.
Like, there have been a couple of people that were very close to putting in an offer, and then they went somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And, as much as from a practical viewpoint, it kind of wrinkled me, but it's also like, maybe the house didn't want them.
Yeah.
Maybe the energy was off. Maybe for whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
Right? And I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you live within what is, because you have to. But there's also a thing, like, I love this house. This is a place, I mean, to get all romantic, we met.
We wouldn't have met otherwise.
Right? But that's just it. And we
because you would have terrified me, and I'm like, ah.
Oh God, 17-year-old me would have scared you, I have to say. But the other side of that is like, it's also really smart when you realize it, and we're going towards, you know, a different but the same thing. It's a smaller house, but want to be by the beach. But you're also going, and you'll get to spend more time with your kids and grandkids.
Oh, that's
right?
Exactly.
And that's, right?
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And for you guys, it's a very deliberate lifestyle change that you're embracing, right? Yep. And for us, that was what this move was. Yep. It was we couldn't have embraced. My husband couldn't have faced the fact that he was burned out at work,
right,
and needed to take a break.
Right.
He could, when he came to me and he said, "I think I need to take 6 months off. I need to take an actual break." And I went, "What?" Like I never.
Right. That you never.
I've never known him not
him.
to work,
yeah,
and not to want to work, and to be able. And he's very. He's quite stoic as far as, like, he does what has to be done when it needs to be done, yep. And if there's no option, there's no option. There's no point whining about it because there's no option, yep. Right? As soon as we sold the big house, moved here, then he had options,
yep.
And then he could say, "I'm burning out. I don't think I can do my job anymore. I need to take a break." And then the 6 months turned into, I can't go back full time. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into, we need to sell the business. Yeah. And none of those things could have happened until we moved here. So it was transformative for us to come here. And for you guys to move to, you know, you're not retiring per se, but it's kind of a retirement community where you're moving to. And it's not a retirement community, but a lot of people are retired that are there, right? And you have that slower pace that you can embrace over there, right? And it gives you that freedom to, well, what is the next step? Well,
and that's just it. And especially, you know, I mean, we're, you know, right now the world business-wise is slowing down. Yeah. So it was a little bit fortuitous, right, that we thought about it, but also, you know, we've always, like...
You were thinking ahead before anyone else saw what was coming. Or at least you saw your own world.
I saw, well, and you could kind of see, because it's been sort of a year, not even a year yet since we started having discussions about it. But it was a little bit of, I mean, one of the things I have to say, you know, being 29 and all, is that I started thinking, when are clients going to look at me and think she's too old?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't think I am, because we keep up. But I don't have control of what they think.
But
it also is like looking at it, you know, one of the things, because certainly here in BC, and we do a lot of work for the province, is they are working very hard to pull back a lot of the contractors and stuff like that. And I completely get it, which is why I've been looking at the podcast. Mm-hmm. And poor Roxanne getting the, you know, 15 freaking messages.
Happy to see it all.
But you know, like, but that's just it. But it is also like, you know, sometimes the universe, if you're not going to freaking take a leap yourself, the universe pushes you.
It pushes you.
Right?
Yeah. It's true.
And I think that's so I'm excited about that part, because I can do that side of it. Yeah. And just be able to look at life differently, because for me, I have to say, it never occurred to me about retirement until you, like, harped on it.
What? I did?
Yes. You're like, when are you guys going to retire? When are you going to retire? When are you going to retire?
I never did that. Yes, what are you talking about? You're lying.
You did it. I'm not. I swear to God. You're like, but you don't want to work all the time. You want to start to go slower.
See my husband doing that. Not
no,
me.
It was you. But you did it gently.
Okay.
You weren't really like, when are you going to when are you going to retire? When are you going? But it was.
But it is.
But it is an important thing. I didn't even know that thing was there.
I mean, I can't imagine writing the way I used to write before, because of how the world has changed, and because I've never written classic, you know, cowboy romance the way the market really wants it. And right now, I can't write that. That's not authentic to me.
Yep.
I can't write anything that supports a patriarchal
right
worldview I have to insert my own.
Yeah.
I just have to write characters who are what I believe to be right.
Well, it goes back to you being authentic to yourself,
It goes back
right?
to that, yeah. And that's not what publishers want necessarily. So I have to just step back and say, I don't know what that. I don't know what. I mean,
I know what your big book is going to be.
Yeah, you do, yeah. But my, like romantasy with Leanne, because I am thinking about that, and I haven't forgot it, Leanne, even though it seems like I have.
I promise she hasn't. She talks about it.
No, I do, yeah.
And also she's going on a research mission with Tara Laurie.
That's true, I am. But like that stuff, that's different. It's something else, and we can insert our views about the world and how we think the world should be, and we've got some freedom there, right? Which we don't have when
and an audience that is predisposed to that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
People
who read fantasy or romantic fantasy, they're already looking for a world that doesn't exist now. Yeah. It only exists in your imagination. And they're looking for a good versus evil with a good win.
Yeah.
Right?
And in that world, because it's fantasy, you can have these non-typical conversations, right? Because it is a non-typical world.
You make up the rules,
right?
But you make up the rules and how it works.
And it's like, so I remember taking a screenwriting course a very long time ago with a fellow named Robert McKee who he coached Julia Roberts. My sister used to actually run his events for him.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but he was.
I have his book. I've never
disbelief.
I was never able to get to
disbelief.
One. That's it. You have to.
Right, and it's really good. You should talk, because if you come over during the move and stuff, you and Bev can talk about it, because she ran his stuff for years.
Oh my goodness, he was apparently brutal on people in the audience if they said stuff or gave the wrong answer or something.
I've been like, I would go the first time we met him together, and then she became friends with him, and we went for a drink with him afterwards, and just like him and her were like he immediately, she was his equal, and they had these conversations. And there was a part of me, because I was, we're talking 30 years ago, and I was like, I don't know what to do with any of this, right? This guy, teaches Julia Roberts, right? Kind of thing. But, it's interesting, and taking from what you just said about sort of moving to other chapters, one of the things and after, you shaming me for not writing love notes last
I did
time.
Not shame you. I will not own that. You feel whatever you feel.
Okay,
it has nothing to do
I'm
with me.
going to go get the clip, man. but it's okay. No, but I do want to get back to them. But one of the things I just read was Lawrence Vanderpost. I'm going to have to Google who that is, because I don't know. Once told the Bushmen of the Kalahari that he could not hear the stars. And the reaction was unforgettable. At first they laughed, believing no one could be so foolish. But when they realized he was earnest, their laughter turned to sorrow. To them, not hearing the stars was a terrible misfortune, a kind of spiritual deafness that severed a person from the living universe. In Bushman tradition, every element of nature, trees, wind, fire, and even the stars, has a voice. The night sky is not a cold emptiness, but a chorus of cosmic song, resonating with those attuned to it. So for Vanderpost, a European steeped in modern rationalism, silence seemed normal. For the Bushman, silence was a tragedy. Right? And so I'm going to write about that, because there are places, and one of the places, like we're talking about this chapter here, this is one of the places where I learned not just to hear the stars or hear nature, but to encompass it.
Here?
So certainly when I'm in Africa, and especially in Kenya at the Safari Collection's Solace Camp is where I think I'm most at home in the whole world.
Okay.
But certainly, there are times I've been out in the hot tub late at night and that, or you and I have just been sitting, in the hot tub, and it gets quiet for a minute and you feel, or there are times when a certain time, and usually it's around fall, where the trees, just as the sun's setting, they turn silver, and you could almost hear the silver, right? Like all of those things. But we've had a chance here. Like, I've always been go all my life. Achieve, do this. Yeah. And then here's the first time I considered sitting still.
Wow.
Right? And so I'm going to write a love note, but about the places. And for all of us,
That's
I think
huge.
it's like, take a moment and listen to the stars.
That is beautiful.
See? You're the sharp, witty one. I'm the heartfelt one. Okay, so now we're going to add another question at the end, and I think we tried this before, but we're going to do it more now. So what brought you joy this week, Rox?
What brought me joy this week? Well, Similar to building on what you were just talking about, I'm rereading a book right now called Prodigal Summer, and it's written by, this will shock the pants off you, Barbara Kingsolver.
Roxanne's favorite author.
Yeah, and this one is extremely environmental focused, and that's what you're just talking about.
Yep.
It's about that. It's about the union of people and nature, and she is an environmental biologist as well as a bunch of other things. She's too smart for, it's not fair how much smartness she has inside her. But this book is, it's very beautiful, and so that has brought me joy. And there's some books that I can read and reread and reread, and this one I haven't reread before. It's the first time I've reread it, and it's a little bit. There's been a few times where I'm like, no, I don't want to read this again. And then I'll get into a little chunk. I'm like, oh no, I need to reread this. I need to revisit this idea of nature, of us being just a cog in nature, like just a piece of that, right? It's a beautiful, incredibly sensual, in the actual sense of the word, really, really great story. So that's brought me joy. What has brought you joy?
Good. Interestingly enough, Taylor Swift.
Ooh.
And I'm not necessarily a huge Taylor Swift fan, although I did work out this morning to one of her songs.
Dang it, you're ahead of me now.
And by like 1,800 points, just saying.
Shit.
But she released The Life of a Showgirl today.
Oh.
Right, her new album.
Okay.
And there are certainly songs in there about Travis Kelce, and some of them are a little risque. So I'm not sure her parents should listen, but I really do think, and I mean, I know, she makes a lot of money, and I'm really not good with billionaires, but I also think she does good in the world. But she really is a poet. Like when you read her lyrics and you see her music. So there was a tweet that came out. Somebody had said, they were ranking artists and said something about, Taylor Swift is entertaining and stuff, but she doesn't even write all her own songs. She answered, and she was like, in fact, I do write all of my own songs. And by the way, I actually wrote this tweet too. And she didn't say,
Oh.
She didn't say a bad word, but that was the inference.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like, I like how she is. I like that she loves her parents. I like that her and Travis Kelce are family oriented. I mean, I don't know anything about them personally. I like that when people use her fame, she's like, we're done. Right? Like her and Blake Lively tried to bring her into what at least what's out there, bring her into a lawsuit with the director of The Last Thing, and apparently there's been a falling out between them because Taylor Swift won't be used. Right? And I think
interesting.
I think she's a really good role model because I get it that she wears sparkles and does all the things. I like sparkles. And I think if you own it, then I think it's okay. Like I think it's perfectly okay for all of that. But I also like that she treats her team well. Yeah. That she does good things. Like her and Travis Kelce have done lots for homeless people and for victims of floods and that kind of thing. And she comes out and she owns things, right? I think she's a good role model for girls, right? Yeah. And her coming out with this new album, which is a bit of a departure, and it's a little, honestly, it really is a little bit, all these young girls that follow her, I mean, Life of a Showgirl, she's wearing some pretty revealing outfits for what I've seen. And it's just one of those where she's authentic. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And she seems to give a crap. Like she actually seems to care, right?
That's pretty amazing. That's very cool.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan. I wish she would give away more of her money, but she gives away a fair amount.
Yeah.
But, okay, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for apples. Because we had lunch with friends yesterday, and then as we got on the highway...
Oh, you got the apples you like.
Well, it's funny because they live west of us, and we travel east, but we got on the highway, and I'm like, isn't that weird? That's the same car that they have in front of us. And he's like, yeah, I think that's actually them. And then I texted them. I'm like, are you guys going east? And she's like, oh yeah, we're going to pick apples. We didn't even tell you because we figured you need to get home to the dogs.
Right.
And I said, oh, what farm are you going to? Texting, right? And she told me, and we'd been there before. And I'm like, oh, we'll follow you. So we followed them, and they went. So we said hi, bye again. They went off to pick their apples. We went into the store and bought our apples.
Oh, cool.
And I had just been thinking last week, I don't even...
You were telling, I think you said it on the podcast.
I might have, how I thought I'd missed the window for local apples. I had one for lunch today, and it's like a Jonagold apple the size of my head. It's huge, awesome. And it was just delicious.
That's
I think I
awesome.
have like 8 of them. So I have 8 days of a delicious lunch ahead of me. So
7.5. I think you should give me a half of one.
I should give you. I might. We'll see.
I see how much she loves me. We'll see. This is one of those where she'll give me a lot of bread because she loves me that much. But does she love me Johnny Gold apple
love
that
you
much?
That much.
That's
They're
right.
Such
We'll
good
see.
apples. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I got one for you.
See.
And so, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful that I've been cleaning out freezers because we have to get rid of one of our freezers, and I found a bunch of Parmesan rinds. And so I went to my creepy little friend ChatGPT and said, could I actually make cacio e pepe soup? And that's what I'm making.
Oh,
So,
I'm so excited about that, and it smells. I got a little preview sniff of it, and it smells amazing. It smells so
we'll
good.
see. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. Wait, Parmesan or Pecorino?
That was Parmesan.
Okay, because
I don't have
cacio e pepe is Pecorino.
It is, but
Parmesan, yeah, the good stuff.
yeah,
it works.
I don't think Pecorino has rinds, do they? I'm not sure I've ever seen
I
one.
think you are right about that because I just eat the whole thing. So,
So there we go.
so there's no rind left.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's a makeshift.
It's a makeshift.
Yep.
It's a ad hoc. I learned that word.
It's a-
I had to look it up. I'm like,
Did
what,
you?
what does ad hoc mean? It
It makes
basically
me feel
means
so much better one off.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm always criticizing clients. You're doing your work ad hoc. It needs to be a strategy.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. It makes me happy because normally I'm like, what's the word? Roxanne, for little kid lives. It's like, you mean childhood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, what do we want more of, Rox?
we want more happy hours. What do we want less of, Ruth?
That's bullshit.
Thanks for being with us, you guys.
Okay.
You guys make this
Talk to you soon.
special. Talk to you soon. Bye.